Well, that was the match between Rajasthan and Punjab. Punjab has won the match by 14 runs. A contentious incident, which we will discuss, of course, on MPL Presents Cricbuzz Live. I'm Gaurav Kapur. With me, Simon Doull and Ajay Jadeja. And, of course, we've got 20 overs to talk about. That's 120 deliveries. But we're just going to be talking about one. The one where Jos Buttler was sent back. I'm not going to say he got out or they got him out, or because all those technical terms, I will take your opinion on whether they took his wicket, whether they snatched his wicket, whether they actually got him out, you know. So I'll leave that to you, gentlemen. So go.
Look, I mean, I've definitely been proven wrong here because, I thought they were the worst fielding side, and, the run out you're talking about.
I'm talking about... It goes down as a run out, doesn't it?
It does.
Yes. So, we just say how Ashwin sent Jos Buttler back.
Look, it shows a run out. It's well within the laws of the game.
Agreed.
Spirit is something that you can have late in the evening in the bar as well. Each one looks at it differently. I definitely think he wasn't stealing a run there. Yeah. He waited for the batsman to go out. He didn't. It wasn't that he was, about to bowl and the batsman was already out. So, but within the rules, it's almost like if when I nicked a ball, I didn't walk. Yeah. So, I guess I'm probably the wrong person to even talk about it. But if you ask me one plain and clear line, I think it's totally wrong. It wasn't a stage of the game where you could say things were getting hot or things were wrong. It was just that somebody was going to lose and he wasn't ready to lose. He was going to do anything to get out of it.
Simon, your point?
Yeah, it's a tough one. I'm not going to chastise Ashwin in this situation because the onus is on the batsman to watch the bowler bowl the ball. Now, if I overstep the line by this much as a bowler, it's a no ball. It's a no ball. It's a free hit. If the batsman's foot slides out of the crease by this much, does the wicketkeeper say, do you mind if I stump you? No. So every inch or every bit that the batsman tries to crib at one end could count at the other end if he's going for a run. Do I agree entirely with it? No. But it's in the laws of the game, and I'm not going to have a go at Ashwin for doing it. It's on Jos Buttler. His job is to watch Ashwin bowl the ball.
Yep.
And the laws state you don't have to warn anyone. There is no onus to warn anyone at all. As a batsman, the law states you must remain in the crease until the bowler has bowled the ball.
Till the ball leaves.
Yeah, well, till he's bowled the ball.
Yeah. So till the ball leaves the bowler's hand is what the rule is.
Correct.
Exactly, if you're going,
So you can't, social media will jump up and down on Ravi Ashwin here.
Yeah.
Do I agree with it? No, I don't agree with it. But it is the law. And I'm not going to have a go at him because he is well within the laws of the game to do exactly what he did. And Jos Buttler is in the wrong. He needed to watch the ball leave the hand because he's trying to crib that much. And it doesn't matter whether it's only that much. Because if I overstep by that much, it's still a no ball.
Fair point. But here's my question to that, is that, so no balls are given, and fair point, no balls, stumpings, etc. From all the cricket I've watched, and all you've watched as well, there's about 2 or 3 deliveries in every over where something like this happens, right? Where you're sliding out. Why don't we see it more often then?
Because it's frowned upon.
Yeah.
Because in this instance, everybody will jump up and down and have a go at Ashwin. So it's frowned upon. So you have to be quite thick-skinned to do it. Murali Kartik.
Yeah.
I think 3 times in his career, he man-capped someone.
Yeah.
3 times. Kartik did. You've got to be thick-skinned to be able to do it and to feel that it's okay. And Ashwin is an absolute stickler for the game, for the rules, the laws of the game, for the stats of the game. So I don't think he's going into the game thinking, I'm going to do it if it happens. He was probably noticing that Buttler wasn't watching him bowl, wasn't watching the ball come out of the hand. He thought, well, we need a wicket.
Yeah, so got an inch and used that inch.
Yeah.
By the way, Ashwin has tried this once before, and his captain at the time, Virendra Sehwag, actually recalled the player, so he took the appeal back. So he's tried that before. So when we get Viru here on the weekend, it's really interesting.
Yeah. And I think even Ashwin, I think if you ask him tonight, he'd probably say he did the right thing. But maybe 6 months down the line, a year down the line, or when he's a little older, when he looks back at the same incident, he'll think, I shouldn't have done it.
Well, interesting. They're the retired cricketers, so they'd give you that. I can only give you a fan's point of view. When I saw it, something didn't feel right. It just did. Something just inside me was like, nah. So that's it. What's your point of view? Let us know. Hashtag Cricbuzz Live. We're on Twitter. We've told you our points of view. You could have one which is completely different. I don't think so because we covered everything. But anyway, it could be completely different. So let us know what it is. That does not change the fact that it is Punjab who's picked up the 2 points here. They've won by 14 runs. They were cruising, were Rajasthan, really, till that Joss Buttler dismissal. Remember, they had a 77 to get in 7 overs with 8 wickets in hand at the time. And from there on, it just sort of had a downward spiral. You had people like Steve Smith hit a couple of big shots. You had Ben Stokes hit a 6 off the 1 ball. Ajay had a really good point of view, by the way. We were standing just off the TV and we saw Stokes get out. And you had a very valid point. I really wanted to share that point about just the length of the batting order sometimes giving false comfort to the guys at 5 and 6.
Yeah, it does, because you'd only lost 1 wicket or until that stage when Buttler got out, and you have Jeffrey Archer to come, Stokes to come, so many batsmen to come. So as a bowling team or as somebody who's watching the game feels that there is so much batting left. But there is a fact in life that when you walk into bat, no matter how great a player you are, it's not the same. When you have a few balls to get used to, you can start with the first ball. But you can't go in there and start playing 14, 15 runs and over, especially on a ground like this. And, that Mujib over was really going to change it.
Yeah.
So if you get through that over, you're in trouble. So most teams, you look at what happened to Mumbai yesterday. When you have too many batsmen in your side, everyone has the pressure of, not playing the scoreboard or not just playing the game, but you keep worrying about, I've got somebody behind me. So you just keep going at it, and you just can't hit every ball. You get in, you play an innings, that's a different story. So I always believe that is another reason I keep insisting on having 5 bowlers. Because when the batsmen do well, you generally don't use it. Tripathi, somebody who was an opening batsman, wasn't even used today. Mandeep for the opposition wasn't used today. But every bowler has to bowl 4 overs. That's why I keep insisting that please do not have 7, 8 batsmen in your side. Because what happens is you win one-off game where the guy at 7 or 8 went and got 8 of the last over or 10 of that last over, and you say, he was useful. But that happens once in 8 games or once in 10 games.
Yeah.
Whereas the bowler is used every game.
How did the bowlers do for Punjab today? Let's show you the bowling card, and Simon will talk you through that. Of course, that over from Mujib was very important. That was the 18th.
Yeah, and even Sam Curran. Now, this backs up your point, Ajay, because Sam Curran had bowled 3 overs for 48.
Yeah.
And no wickets. But he knew he still had to do the job. They only had 5 bowlers. I've still got to come back. And he picked up 2 crucial wickets in that over. He got 2 wickets for 4 runs in that over. And that was because he knew he had to do it. There was nowhere to hide.
Yeah.
He couldn't run away from it. Mujib, outstanding in the context of the game, 2 for 31. Shami, I thought, was very good. Bowled a brilliant 19th over. And just that kind of took the game away, didn't it? The Yorkers, some good bounces, so impressive there. And Ashwin, that's the captain's performance. 4 overs, 1 for 20. Had that Karen ball going nicely. But it backs up Ajay's point about the fact that they've only got 5 bowlers. There was no one else. Chris Gale wasn't going to roll his arm over. Sam Curran, for all that he wanted to say, it's not my night, I want to just hide down at long on and have that last over bowled by someone else. He couldn't do it.
Yeah.
He had to front up and he had to find a way to summon some strength and go out and bowl that over. And he did it, picked up 2 for 4 in that over, and it kind of changed the game a little bit.
Well, Simon is sitting on the MPL Super Couch because he did call it correct. He said Punjab would win, and Punjab has won. You might as well just take this home. You've been sitting on it all evening. He's been getting everything right today. But Dooley does that. Dooley seems to get, it's that risotto superpower. I don't know what it is, but he just seems to get it right. Calls the toss correct, or calls, scores correct. He just does that. So we're just going to get one made with your name on it at the back.
I look forward to that.
Spielberg. Yeah. Spielberg. Because talking about Buttler, just real quick before we wind up here, while he was batting, while he was on the batting end, he was doing really well.
Yeah. Yeah, he shouldn't have been.
In the end, they couldn't get him out on the batting end.
Yeah.
He's a terrific player, isn't he? He's great to watch. And we talk about the likes of Rishabh Pant and guys being 360 players, but he epitomises that, I think, Ajay. He strikes the ball beautifully. The one that shot from tonight that'll stick with me was the back foot punch over long off
For a 90-meter six.
from Mujib.
Yep.
Unbelievable.
That was a 90-meter six, wasn't
Yeah.
it?
That's a tough shot to hit. And
Yeah.
on a wicket that doesn't have too much bounce either. I can imagine in Bangalore or Mumbai where the bounce is much better, the ground is not as big. Yeah, he was with that straight bat. It wasn't a flat batted one. It was just back foot punch, and he's fabulous to watch. But people should be reading him much better. You look at that 360 we talk about. He goes inside out. I was having a chat with him. It's all inside out, and then he just gets under the ball, and he has a different angle to his batting. So the normal square leg is of no use. I haven't seen him hit a ball at square leg or mid wicket. So maybe teams will figure out and start putting a fielder in there, because as soon as you put a fielder in there, then he's got to come up with something else. So as an opposition, people need to read each other and get the other guy to try something different. This is his comfort zone. He plays inside out. So what do? You go leg side, and what he does is just gets under that ball. It's not that he gets inside the line and hits it mid wicket or hits it square leg. It's like it's taken years for people to figure out Kohli, when he comes in, you got to have a deep mid wicket no matter what stage of the game.
Yeah.
Everybody has different angles. So as the tournament progresses, I'm waiting to watch which is the first captain who looks at this, puts that. It doesn't matter, because if you bowl a good ball, you got to keep a feel for a good ball that you feel that you're bowling, and only onside shot. He'll hit something over mid wicket sometime, but what is comfort is that little paddle. So that fine leg needs to come right in. Put that in, then you got only a single
option. Yeah.
The two things happen. One is that he doesn't get a boundary, and the second thing is he's off strike as well.
Yeah,
so
which works well, which is a great way to get him out, apparently, from what we've learned today. Keep him off strike.
Yeah.
He's not going to.
You want to make him play a shot that he's not as comfortable playing. Now, I know he plays the little reverse, but I agree. A quick bowlers in this tournament, what I would like to see is a bowling coach or someone playing up against Josh Buttler. Tuck him up, get into his hip, have that fine leg on the boundary but fine, and have another man on square or behind square, so that he can't just flick it to the leg side, and tuck him up on that thing. And if he decides to go reverse, good luck. If he plays a great shot and does that, well, good luck to him. But what you are doing is you're taking that boundary option away from him, and you're not allowing him to hit through that offside, which he loves to sort of stay leg side and hit there. So.
Well, another guy who people will be wondering how to stop, and actually people have been wondering that for over a decade now, is Chris Gayle. He's also our MPL hero of the match, and you're talking about putting a fielder, deep mid-wicket somewhere. With Chris Gayle, it's really simple. You just put all your fielders in the stands. It's the only way you get him out.
Yeah.
Got in the stands.
Because there's nothing much you can do. In fact, when he got out today, it should have been a six. It was almost a six, a fabulous catch.
Yeah.
And he's got too much power. And the thing with him is that, it's got nothing to do with the wicket, and it's got nothing to do with the bowler. It's got to do with his mind. So there's a phase that he might give you a chance. I was surprised with the opposition today, because the best chance against him is the first 6, 8, 10 deliveries.
Yeah.
You got to swing it or do something, because rarely do you see him come out in the first over and start striking it there and then. He just blocks. So if you give him an over from spinner, he gets used to that pace, and he's happy with it. And then there is nothing you can do, because that arc is really long.
Yeah.
It starts from here and it ends up there, and the short ball. He in fact is comfortable actually hitting the short ball.
Yeah,
because
he is.
You just take, because even if he top edges or miss hits, it goes out, and if he misses, it's not going to hit the wicket. So the thing with guys like this is that you got to pitch it up, bowl full, not half volleys, but full where you're going to hit the wicket. If he misses, you got to get him in the first 6 balls.
Yeah.
That's your best chance with him.
Who's the bowler that's caused him most trouble in the last 4 or 5 years?
Sandeep Sharma.
Correct. Why?
You bowl, just swing
Pitches
it out
it
a
up
little bit.
and
Yeah.
swings it.
Pitches it up, swings it away from him a
Like
little
Simon
bit.
used to do.
Correct.
Yeah, it's like Simon used to do. He knows. Well, Chris Gayle was our MPL hero of the match. And if you had picked him in your team, it would have worked well for you. We had people who did pick him in the team, and that's why this is our super team hero on MPL, Shivnath Verma, 371.25 points. So well done, Mr. Verma. Well done.
Who
good job.
gets the points for Munkadin? Is it?
It's a run out. You get the run out points.
Oh, so-
I know you're trying to trap me, but
No, I'm just trying to.
I'm getting trapped, man. The rules are the rules. We go by the rules, yeah.
Okay. Oh, you go by the rules.
Is it?
I like breaking the rules.
Is it time that the name changed as well?
I don't think that's changing. It's just become popular parlance now.
Well, yeah.
Trust me, 9 out of 10 people outside would have forgotten Vinu Mankad, Ashok Mankad, but they'll know Mankading. So it's great. If I guess a father-son duo remains immortal because of a name, I like it.
It's like the underarm, the chapel.
Yeah.
That's right.
Yeah.
The Trevor Chapel.
And at times, I've been part of a game where, Kapil Paji had to Mankade Peter Kirsten.
Yeah.
And at that time, I was part of that team, so I can assure you that there are times that the bowler, this is not to defend anybody or to talk about, but it was a couple of games that he was warned. And then, God bless his soul, Mr. Wadekar, who was our coach, he fired Kapil Paji in that team meeting saying, look, you got to do it. He said, I won't do it. I can't do this. And it happened in 2 games. And in those 2 team meetings, finally he was forced to, run him out or Mankaded or whatever you call it. But that was different. He was, he was stealing the run. Whereas today it wasn't like he was stealing it.
So here's the difference. So 2 points. One is there's a screenshot which you can see. It's pretty much all over the media. Is that Ashwin is standing on the side, Joss Butler's in the crease that time, so he's like waiting for him to leave and then running him out. Well, it's your call. You make what you want off it. But the second is a story that I remember from the 1987 World Cup. I think it was a semi-final. It was West Indies, Pakistan. Salim Jaffer kept trying to do that. It was Courtney Walsh. And I remember what Courtney Walsh did. And I was a young boy that time. And for me, I thought, all right, this is somebody who I now admire. Is that he came in his run-up. He stopped. Salim Jaffer had left. He just stood like this. He turned around to Salim Jaffer. He stood like that. And Salim Jaffer didn't leave the crease after that.
Yeah, exactly.
Right? So,
but that didn't stop the young West Indian under-19 boy to do it at this World Cup.
So he's under 19, so he obviously was not even alive in 87, right? So he didn't watch it.
Well, he's playing tomorrow.
He's playing tomorrow.
He's playing tomorrow.
So who had done this?
Chemo Paul.
Chemo Paul did this.
Yeah, Chemo Paul.
He's not playing tomorrow.
Chemo Paul.
I think Chris Morris is back.
Oh,
I think
so he's going to be dropped.
Well, he's around. He's at the game tomorrow.
That's right, he is.
Is
It was Chemo Paul who had done that, hadn't he?
Yeah.
Yeah, well, okay, well, that's Chemo Paul. Now, if Chris Morris is back, then, of course, tomorrow, big game. There's Delhi playing Chennai, right? Delhi playing Chennai tomorrow. If Chris Morris is back, that team, what did he make of Delhi's performance yesterday?
Yeah, very good. They've got a cracking side. When you can leave a guy who is number 2 in the world, I think, ranked T20 batsman, Colin Munro.
Yeah.
You leave him out of your side. He's a proper T20 player, Colin Munro, and they've got that very strong top 5. I've never seen Colin Ingram in the flesh play well.
Yeah.
He's been a myth to me, Colin Ingram, but last night watching him play that innings at Wankhede Stadium was outstanding. I think people around the world talk about Colin Ingram and his ability, and I saw some of that last night. It's the first time I'd actually seen it, and so I was really impressed. And then their bowling lineup, Ishant surprised me last night. He hadn't taken a wicket for 3 years in the IPL until he took one last night. But, Trent Bolt, Kagiso Rabada, outstanding. They've got a very good side, Delhi. I think they're not, I'm not sure whether they're title champions, whether they can go all the way, but I think they'll scare a few people this year and they'll finish a lot better than they have done previously.
You have to. They finished 8 last time.
Yeah, well.
No, you don't have to.
They finished better than that. But do you think playoff material? From what
I think they could be.
Yeah?
Yeah, I think they could be. If those bowlers remain fit, if Morris comes and is fit, then what do? They may decide to leave Trent Bolt out even. Or something along those lines. And they can bring Munro in as well as batting cover. He bowls a little bit. They can leave Bolt out, bring Morris in. So they've got so many options there. Sherfane Rutherford.
So yellow, the ones who played, white, the ones who were on the bench.
Yeah.
You've got some, you look at Colin Munro. I'm a big fan of Colin Munro.
Yeah.
A lot of time to watch his batting. And you do get a lot of time to watch his batting because he's around for a while.
Yeah.
But he's not playing.
No.
There's Amit Mishra, wily old fox of the tournament. There's Hanuma Vihari. You see Sandeep Lamichhane burned up the Big Bash League, didn't he? It's a solid bench.
They've got a side for all sorts of surfaces. Now, if they find a spinning track, you can perhaps bring Morris in for Chemo Paul. So you've got some batting and some bowling there. And leave Bolt out and bring Lamichhane in if it's a turning wicket. You've still got Rabada and Morris. And Tewatia, Ishant Sharma as well. So there's some really good options there for Delhi, I think.
I think what Simon just said, leave Trent Bolt out and bring Lamachani in,
Yeah.
and Morris for that. I think that's probably because, or you might even see Ishant being left out and Mishra coming in if Lamachani is not playing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because you're going to a different track. The way they picked their side for the Mumbai game, and it was a start, it was the first game. I have a feeling that the way Ricky Ponting's working with his team, they will probably change one of those guys every game depending on the conditions, but they'll stick to the pure 5 bowler theory that I love.
You love
I
it.
love.
You love it.
And I feel, like I said even yesterday before the game started, not because of the result, they will lose games along the way because there's no team who's going to win all the games in this format. You will lose some, but you got to be consistent with how you play, and there is a lot of talent in that side. I just somehow feel that this year is going to be a different year for Delhi.
What they need to do, though, to me, and the mistake that Delhi have made when they've had quality bowling, is they've played on terrible pitches.
Yeah.
Terrible.
I'm worried
pitches
about
at
that
home.
with the Kotla. I'm
At
worried.
home. I would love to see them just leave grass on it, because not only will it assist the quick bowlers and just with the pace and the bounce, it actually plays into the hands of Rishabh Pant, of Shreyas Iyer, of Shikhar Dhawan. With pace on the ball, those guys are way better. They are such good players when the ball's coming onto the bat. So they've got the batsmen that can cope with the pace and the bounce, and they've got the bowlers that can provide it. So to me, it's a no-brainer. They must play on a pitch that is rock hard and has got grass on it. And if it's really hard, grass just gives it pace. It doesn't make it seam everywhere. So they must play on that sort of surface. If we turn up tomorrow night at the Kotla and it's bare and barren, I'll be very, very surprised. And I'm sure that's not what they want.
Yeah, and you'd be disappointed. But then that's the beauty of the Kotla pitch. It always disappoints you.
Because the grass is all gone.
As it did in the India-Australia game. It was really disappointing. But, and to Simon's point, actually, it would really play into Delhi's hands and away from Chennai's strength. Because remember, they're just full of spinners. They love their spinners.
Yeah.
They love their slow bowlers. And that's what they have. And there you go, Ajay. That's their team. So you know that MS doesn't like make too many changes, right? But
yeah, but they don't have. I mean, look at that. Where is the fast bowler there?
Yeah.
There isn't a pure, genuine fast bowler where he could play. But with MS, he works differently. He'd probably look at the opposition as well. He'll look at the batting lineup that Delhi has. But with that, I think this is the first time his hands are probably tied.
Yeah.
He doesn't have the option of bringing anybody in because he's got Bravo in there, who's a seamer, but he doesn't bowl up, right at the top or use the new ball or the conditions.
really, you think perhaps? I mean, he's got a lot of batting, so he could really.
He'll revolve his players in some way, but there isn't anybody. I mean, I can't. Mohit Sharma is a bowler, but not a fast bowler. I mean, his strength is also a slower one. So if there is a bouncy track, it actually is easier to play balls, or especially the bowlers who bowl these slow ones.
David Willey?
I like David Willey for Dwayne Bravo. I think Dwayne Bravo's his stocks are diminishing for mine. I don't think he's certainly not the player he was 2, 3, 4 years ago, and his stocks are slowly diminishing for mine. So if Chennai had to make a change, I'm not sure they will because MS, as we know, he doesn't like to do that. But if there was a change to be made to look for a new ball bowler or someone, David Willey's a terrific striker of the ball as well.
By the way, he doesn't need to get him in for Bravo. He only played 3 foreigners in the last game.
Good
so
point.
he can bring him in for an Indian team.
Yeah, good point.
Sorry,
he
I
can bring him in.
missed
Yeah, they only played 3. Yeah, so I mean, he could come in. He could come in for Bravo if they wanted to bring someone else in as well, and another overseas player, maybe Mitchell Santner. But I think in Santner and Jadeja, they have very similar players.
Yeah.
So I don't see that being an option. I don't see Mitch Santner getting a lot of game time at all, to be honest.
Well, so that both these teams have got off to a good start, like Delhi and Chennai. They both have had solid games. They've had dominating games. So tomorrow definitely is going to be quite an encounter. Now, all 8 teams have played a game each. So let's have a look at what the points table is. Wins for Delhi, Punjab, Chennai, Kolkata. And not for Hyderabad, Bangalore, Rajasthan and Mumbai. And there you go. Obviously, Delhi's got the positive net run rate and, more than double of the next team. That's because they had quite a resounding victory over Mumbai yesterday, and that's taken them to the top. But, I mean, there's no point looking at the points table till at least like 10 days, 2 weeks into the
But the
tournament.
Delhi and Punjab fans would love to at least watch it for a few days at least, because they haven't had the opportunity to see their teams right at the top.
Oh, well,
Generally, they're at the bottom.
I mean, it's
It's
the
just
reverse. It's like 7 and 8 are 7 and 8 are 2 and 1.
Yeah, it's too early in the tournament.
Yeah.
But I'm seeing signs for Delhi. I see, although Punjab's won today as well, but I see great signs for Delhi. If I had to pick between the two, Delhi and Punjab, who both have won the first game, who will be above each other for sure? Delhi.
This year is more important, though, I think, to get off to a good start because of the fact that teams will lose key players at the back end of the tournament. So more so this year than any other year, it's really important to get maybe 5 or 6 wins in your first 8 games, 9 games, if you are the likes of a Delhi who will lose Rabada, will lose a Morris perhaps. If you're the Sunrisers are probably in the best possible position because they don't lose anyone significant. Rajasthan lose all of their significant players.
Yeah.
If Jofra Archer picks up that spot in the England side, I mean, they lose all of their significant players. So this year, I think, more important after about 7 or 8 games, if you want to be involved in that back end of the tournament, to have 4 or 5 wins.
And you'd also see, then if you're looking that up, go have a look at who has a strong Indian 11. Who could they make an Indian 11 out of? Hyderabad, when you look at it, I think what Simon is alluding to is the fact that they have an all-Indian bowling attack that can pretty much do the job.
Yeah, and the New Zealand
and they've
players,
got batters as well.
Williamson will be able to stay the whole tournament.
Yeah.
Billy Stanlake won't make the Australian side, so he'll be able to stay the whole tournament. Rashid Khan allowed to stay the whole tournament.
I think
We
Rashid Khan
understand.
has been...
Has he been
I think
told?
that was the 30th April, perhaps, or that could change as well.
Okay, that might
that
change.
could
So-
change. But they have, they have players. They have a
they've
lot of
got
players.
some
They've
good
built the
bowlers.
squad well. Anyway, we will be discussing this game tomorrow as well. We're just hoping for a good pitch in Delhi, and I'm sure that Delhi is also hoping for a good pitch in Delhi. We don't know how it'll be, but we've got Simon who's going to be at the ground, so maybe you just give us
Yeah,
a
I'll give you a
call.
call. I'll give you a call.
Give us a heads up.
No
Give
problem.
me a call.
Just before the toss, I'll tell you what's going to happen.
Get your people.
be saying
Get your people to calm my people. Be careful. Just get your people to calm my people and just let us know. We'll hook it up. All right. The joy factor question and then the answer and then the winner. Or we can mix it up. Maybe we can give you the winner first and then the answer, then the question. No. On which particular records list of this tournament are Lasith Malinga and Sandeep Sharma joined 3rd place and who is number 1? The correct answer is the most number of vada paos eaten in... Oh, no, it's not. The number of maiden overs bowled. Praveen Kumar is number 1 with 14. Irfan Pathan is number 2 with 10. And then at number 3 are Lasith Malinga and Sandeep Sharma with... I'll just make it up. Joy didn't give it to us. 9. Or 8.
It's an interesting list, isn't it? There's something to learn from there.
Yes.
What is it? They all
opening
swing the
bowlers.
ball.
Swing the ball, yeah.
One, they open the
Yeah.
bowling, but they all swing the ball.
Yeah.
So maybe there's something to learn that when it swings, you can have you have a
Swing When You're Winning. That's an album by Robbie Williams. It's an album by Robbie Williams.
English.
Swing When You're Winning. Sorry?
English.
English,
Atang.
yes. I'll make you listen to it. I got you, brother. Get your people to calm my people.
Okay.
I'll look it up for you. All right, well, that's all we have time for. Oh, no, the winner. Did we announce the winner?
No, we didn't.
No,
have
we
one.
haven't.
No.
We haven't.
He just got so happy with the answer. Crick Rohit has won before. I know I've seen that name before. Crick Rohit, you're a bona fide cricket nerd. Well done, Rohit Yadav. So well done. You won it. You answered first. So thank you so much for being part of Joy Factor. Tomorrow we will have Joy here to ask you the question himself because honestly it's just way too much work for me and it's not in my contract. So he's going to do it tomorrow. Simon, thank you for being here.
Thank you.
And you're going to be back here soon?
First, second, third of the new month.
Excellent.
Yes.
Will
I'll
you be
back.
here on the 1st or are you just fooling us?
Well, maybe you'll have to find out.
Oh. Join us then to find out. But of course, join us tomorrow and day after. And there's a lot of days in between that. So tomorrow we will be here at 7:30 p.m. IST to look forward to the Delhi-Chennai game. Thank you very much, Mr. Ajay Jadeja. You will be here with us tomorrow.
Yes, and I look forward to tomorrow's game.
I wish you better luck with the MPL Super Couch tomorrow.
Yeah, but Joy is there, so Joy would be nice to me.
Nah, it's mine tomorrow. I haven't done it in 3
Yeah?
days. I'm going to do it tomorrow.
What's the score on it?
Tomorrow?
No, today.
Today is
1-0.
it's
1-0.
No, when did he?
You got the score.
Oh, you got it once. Sorry, what am I saying? You changed. Oh, you guys changed positions. You see, I'm
You need to go
I'm
to
obviously colorblind, right? That's like black jacket, grey jacket. It's all looking the same to me. Sorry, it was 1-1.
And tomorrow I'm getting my parrot as well. Who's going to pick the score?
What?
Tomorrow. You got to save something for tomorrow.
Just does the bizarrest things, I tell you something. 12 years I've known him and he just keeps doing the bizarrest things. We might just have a parrot on the show today. He's pretty serious. All right, I'm going to go now. This is Gaurav Kapur saying bye on MPL Presents Cricbuzz live from the rest of our crew. It's good night. We will see you tomorrow at 7:30 p.m. Okay, bye-bye. Go now.